in from D. Prasad. This is a 3-month time perspective that we're looking at here. Stop loss 69, buy above 81. Panel. Ketan Karnanis is head active trader service at ICICI Securities. Hitesh Eidnani joins us in the charts. Nitin Morarka on futures and options. Gentlemen, good morning. Great having all of you with us. Ketan, for the first time, we had a situation overnight in the US market where the market gapped down and then didn't recover. So very unlike of the market to do it. If you looked at what the US market has done over the last couple of odd weeks, you look at the market in the evening is down 100, 150 points. By the time you wake up in the morning and look at the closing, it's down 20 or up 15. It didn't happen yesterday. Marks a major shift according to you?
About that stock-specific approach. Hitesh, I'll come to you first and get some ideas from you. But before I get your ideas, let's just, Tata Motors and Bharti Airtel. How are those charts shaping up?
Tata Motors is looking very good. It's done very well over the last few weeks. In fact, we had given a buy call on Tata Motors, and the trend is definitely up in Tata Motors. We are invested in Tata Motors, and the idea is to remain long in Tata Motors. In the auto sector, Tata Motors, Mahindra and Bajaj Auto are the strongest, so it's very good to remain invested in these three counters in the auto space.
Nitin, I noticed you've got a positive view on Tata Steel. The company reports earnings today. Ahead of that, you're still sort of going out there with your buy call?
Actually, I had recommended to buy on dip.
Mahindra and Mahindra emerging as the preferred bidder for SsangYong Motors. Still far from being a stitched up, sewn up, finalized deal, but M&M is leading the race as far as SsangYong Motors is concerned. Ketan, do you have a view on that stock after factoring?
Aban Offshore, what would you do with the stock now, Hitesh?
Aban Offshore, I would wait. It's in a no trade zone according to me, so we are neither short nor long on it. I would wait for a 5 to 10% up move from here and wait for my model to throw a long. So currently, no trade in Aban Offshore.
Ketan, the activity in mid caps, small caps has kind of picked up tremendously over the last couple of odd weeks. That's where a lot of money has been made. Rotation is going on at pretty fast pace as well. At what point would you say that a lot of the stories which are a lot of the stocks which are being propped up by the market are at a real and meaningful risk of getting a large cut? At what level in the index would you say that? Or does it even matter? So the Nifty can lose about 200, 250 points from here for XYZ reason. The activity in some of the mid to smaller names continues unabated. Is that possible?
I think once
was up 20% at 321. Vascon Engineering was up 20%. I'm going to throw some of those names at you, gentlemen, and get your views on them when we return. Quick break, few minutes, we'll be back.
This bank has been one of the late entrants in the banking performance.
Ketan, I was just going to stick with real estate for a moment and join Hitesh, who's got a positive view on Unitech. You talked about DLF, Ketan, where you're sort of recommending a sell. Hitesh, you've got a buy coming out on Unitech. What are the levels, critical ones to watch?
Manvi, that's correct. Real estate as a sector and as an index has kind of turned bullish in the last few days, and that's something very, very significant because this has turned bullish according to my model after a very long time. So we've got a buy on Unitech, DLF and India Bulls Real Estate as well, all these three counters. Unitech in particular, we could enter with a stop loss of 79 with a target of 110.
All right. Hitesh, what would you, your list of stocks you want to sell right now?
Currently, like I said, real estate has turned bullish. Banking, auto are bullish as well. Pharma is kind of consolidating, but telecom is something that Bharti Airtel, Idea Cellular have turned bullish. So there's no particular sector that I'm really bearish on. Metals, Hindalco has turned bullish, and that's another great trading idea because we watch the commodity space very closely as well, and a number of metals have turned bullish on the commodities market, including aluminium, copper, lead and nickel. So we could see metals as being the next possible leader. Of course, we would wait for a few days before initiating longs in Tata Steel and other kind of metals, but Hindalco is one particular counter that has thrown a buy on our charts, and that is something that I would advocate and I've been advising my clients to go long in. So there's no particular sector that currently I'm totally bearish on.
Right. I was not looking for sectors but specific stocks. But anyways, I'm going to come back to you, Hitesh. Finally, Kane is interesting because, as we were talking about earlier, too early perhaps to say whether, the market is outperforming global markets. Trades have started right now. Volumes are picking up. So we'll wait. United Breweries, by the way, has got about 4% right now. That's a 14-15 rupee move. 45,000 shares have moved there. IFCI has come up about 1% or so. Videocon reported numbers after market hours, has got about 1% as well. Jagran Prakashan 1%. GTL has got 1% as well. EIL is still the biggest cut, 4.5% odd, lower now. Days on end it's been selling off. Edelweiss Capital has got a 2% cut on about 10,000 shares which have moved. IOB, that's Indian Overseas Bank, has got about 2% downside. Allahabad Bank, I can spot a couple of the mid-cap banking stocks which are selling off a little bit from the mid-cap universe. Aban, 843 now, so it's 2%, 15 odd rupee cut coming in. Hitesh?
Right, like you said, it's a bit too early to say how the day would pan out, but overall I think the trend in the Nifty is up as well, and people who haven't initiated longs or missed out the rally so far could look at this dip as a good point in time to enter, because if you look at the US markets, the S&P 500 stopped a bit shy of 1130, which, as we had pointed out earlier, is a very important resistance level. So for the US markets to confirm an uptrend, S&P 500 has to cross 1130, but as far as the Indian markets are concerned, since we crossed 5400, this uptrend has been confirmed, and we still hold on to our belief that the Nifty is in a firm uptrend right now. So any dip should be taken as a point to enter this market. Money still continues to flow into emerging markets, and if you look at some of the BRIC countries, in addition to the BRIC countries, if you look at the charts of Indonesia and Turkey, they are into new all-time highs, and in fact the Indonesian market, the JCI index, has jumped 175% from its 2008 lows, and similarly the Turkish index, the ISE, has bounced from an all-time low of 21,000 to currently around 60,000 levels. Even Sri Lanka has kind of tripled in the last couple of years. So in addition to the BRIC countries, a lot of money is flowing into emerging market countries, and these countries which I just mentioned are part of the next 11 as pointed out by a Goldman Sachs survey. So there is a lot of liquidity coming into emerging markets, and India should continue to see a strong inflow of liquidity. So any dip currently should be taken as a sign to enter the markets.
Ketan, talking to you, Ketan, Nitin and Hitesh, appreciate your thoughts and views this morning, as always, here on the channel. Good getting those across. 40 points off on the Nifty, 5379 is where this market